currently at home right now, doing some admin work, dumping some files from the previous shoots. I actually have a testimonial shoot today in a few hours, actually. Been working with this company. I worked with this company last year and did a similar testimonial with their stem cell therapy company. So one of their clients just did their stem cell treatment. So they're asking me to do a testimonial with him. And this project kind of landed like super last second and didn't really hear from them for a while, going back and forth, trying to get details and whatnot. So I hate when that happens, but it's part of the game. So finally got all the details that I need. You know how I spoke about me pretty much crapping on HoneyBook software because of the price jump and all that? Well, I ended up getting Dubsado. I got the trial, thank God, and I was so confused with like how it works and whatnot. So like one thing I've learned about myself, the older I get, like I don't want to learn other softwares if I don't need to. It's one of the reasons why I don't care about learning DaVinci Resolve, because the color is so amazing and whatnot, but Premiere does a pretty good job for me. I don't complain. My clients certainly don't complain about the color grade. So tried Dubsado, tried to send a simple invoice and a contract, and it's just freaking confusing. So I just bit the bullet. I pretty much resubscribed to my HoneyBook subscription. And instead of paying monthly, I'm going to pay for the yearly bulk, which is going to save me like $100 and something. So it's essentially the same price as what I was paying last year. So this was just so much easier. It was just easy to just like, hey, you want to come back, just hit this button. And I did. And all of my settings are there. I know the workflow. I just need to do a better job this year of learning the automation so I can actually take advantage of what I'm paying for, which I didn't utilize last year because I'm still doing things fairly manual. So this was just super easy. All the payments go through one area instead of going through Dubsado. That goes through Stripe, I believe. And I've never used any of those platforms. So thank God I didn't pay for Dubsado and I just got back to HoneyBook. So I was able to send a contract real quickly. So just got word with the clients that we're going to do the testimonial on just now. And we're pretty much ready to go. The only tricky thing is we're filming at a hotel. It's at a casino resort. So I'm hoping when I walk in there with my equipment, I'm not raising any red flags and have their staff like, hey, what's with all this equipment? Like, what are you guys going to do? So I'm going to try to keep it super low key walking in there. But yeah, we shall see what happens.
Walking into the building was actually fairly simple. I just pulled up with my cart and one bag and my roller Nanook case. And the staff didn't really care much. They just pointed me to the right direction, and that was pretty much it. Kind of act like you own it in a way, and yeah, no questions asked. But I did pack pretty light, just the 2 tripods, the light stand, my AMRANT 200X on top of a aperture light dome, and obviously my 2 cameras, the FX6, a7S3, my normal interview package. And so yeah, as you see here, I'm pretty much getting ready to go, trying to expose to the background. But lucky for me, it was a rainy day actually and overcasty, so the background was pretty fair. And yeah, as you see here, this is what the setup is looking like. I do have him lav since I didn't want to bring another stand and boom up the mic because I just didn't want to bring too much gear. And we all agreed that the lavalier mic would be a lot easier to get some quality audio rather than having another stand and boom and just bring extra attention to the hotel, which is something I did not want to do. But anyways, this is what it looks like. This is the camera A angle. And this is camera B angle. I do wish I had my other light as well because I feel like I could have used a 200X to do a little bit more fill, a little too contrasty, but the clients loved it, so there was no beef there. Once the interview was complete and I'm taking off the microphone from the subject, I did notice that the receiver was off, and I thought that was pretty strange since I 99% of the time turn off the receiver manually once anything is complete. So the fact that it was off, I'm like, okay, I'm hoping that there's audio. So I went to go check the playback. And for reference, the A7S III does have the Rode Wireless Pro attached, since that camera is the only camera that I have that supports 3.5 millimeter. I do have headphones on the A7S III, but I didn't monitor because camera B was a little far apart from camera A, and I didn't want to have a tight leash, air quotes, from the B camera to my ears. And so, that's one of the downfalls of the one-man band is little mistakes like that could happen, but still not an excuse. Good thing I checked the playback, and I always double check the playback to make sure everything was recorded. There was good audio, no hiccups. Yeah, it's weird that actually happened. I'm glad I freaking checked the material because the audio does just black out of nowhere. Let's do a mic check, please.
Charlotte, North Carolina.
Sweet. Okay. I'm going to keep my headphones on just so I could make sure camera's rolling. All right, part 2. And luckily for me, it was only on the last couple of questions. So I did ask the subject to, hey, can we redo the last 2 questions? And he was totally cool with it and got that going and completed that within 2 minutes or so. But as far as the microphone being randomly off, I don't know what the heck happened. The only thing I could think of is when I took it out the charging case, the connections weren't actually connecting. So it had never charged from the previous shoot. So it's something I got to keep an eye on, unless there's some weird glitch that the mic is busted. But again, something I'm just going to keep an eye on. But once I got home, I immediately purchased a XLR to 3.5 millimeter adapter for the FX6. So I always have audio running through the FX6, whether it's going to be a shotgun mic that's on a boom stand, or if it's going to be the Rode Wireless Pro. I'll be next to the camera at all times, and I have headphones to monitor and not do what I'm doing right now, which is monitor audio with the A7S III. That's quite far from me, and just be restricted with movement. So yeah, this could have bit me in the ass if I didn't check for playback, but good thing I always do to make sure everything is good and solid on my end. But yeah, ended up working out really good, and yeah, perfect. It's a wrap. But since this mistake did happen to me, I'm curious to know, to all my one-man band shooters out there, has there been any sort of mistakes that's happened to you guys during production, or you realized after production? For example, like you forget to press record an audio recorder or the second camera on accident, or you accidentally format a card, which would probably be the worst thing I could think of. So let's have a conversation in the comment section. I'm curious to know if there's any mistakes, so we could all read and all learn from each other and know what to avoid on our next up and coming production. So yeah, that's going to be it for me, guys. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two, and yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.